In the heart of the rugged American wilderness, where the mountains whisper secrets of the old world, Chief Joseph, known to his people as Hin-mah-too-yah-lat-kekt, or thunder rolling down the mountain, stood against the relentless tide of change. His was a tale of leadership, resistance, and an unyielding fight for freedom that would echo through the annals of history. Born around 1840 into the Wallowa band of the Nez Perce, a tribe known for their friendship with early American explorers, Joseph's life was one of peace and prosperity until the encroachment of settlers and the U.S. government's insatiable hunger for land changed everything. His father, Old Joseph, had negotiated with the government for a treaty that would secure the Nez Perce lands, but upon Old Joseph's death, the pressures to cede more land intensified. Joseph, now the chief, faced an impossible choice: honor his father's treaty or resist the inevitable expansion of the white settlers. He chose resistance, not out of aggression, but in defense of his people's way of life. His journey would become one of the most incredible odysseys in American history. The narrative of Chief Joseph's leadership began with the Nez Perce War of 1877. It was a summer that would see the Nez Perce, under Joseph's guidance, engage in a strategic retreat across hundreds of miles through treacherous landscapes, outwitting the U.S. Army in a bid for freedom. Their journey was not just a physical one, but a profound testament to their resilience and spirit. As the sun rose over the Wallowa Valley, Joseph gathered his people. With the U.S. Army advancing, he spoke with a calm yet firm resolve. "We must leave our homes, but we will not lay down our rights. We will seek peace, but if peace is denied, we will defend our freedom." They set out towards the east, hoping to cross into Canada, where they believed they could live free under the protection of the British Crown. The Nez Perce, including warriors, women, children, and elders, moved with a purpose. They navigated through the Bitterroot Mountains, crossed the Yellowstone River, and engaged in battles only when forced, including the notable Battle of the Big Hole, where, despite being ambushed, they managed a heroic defense. Joseph's strategy was not just military but diplomatic. He sent emissaries to negotiate, hoping each time that peace could be achieved without further bloodshed. However, each attempt was met with betrayal or misunderstanding, pushing them further on their desperate march. The landscape was both an ally and an adversary. The Nez Perce used their knowledge of the land to their advantage, setting ambushes and using the terrain to delay the army's pursuit. But the land was harsh and food became scarce. The tribe's survival was a testament to their unity, resourcefulness, and the leadership of Joseph, who shared in their hardships, never asking of his people what he wouldn't do himself. One of the most poignant moments came at the Bear's Paw Mountains in Montana. Here, after nearly 4 months of traveling over 1,170 miles, they were just 40 miles from the Canadian border when the U.S. Army caught up. The battle was fierce, but the Nez Perce were exhausted and surrounded. It was here, under the shadow of defeat, that Joseph's leadership shone brightest. After days of fighting, with his people suffering from hunger and cold, he decided to surrender to save what remained of his tribe. On October 5, 1877, he delivered his now famous speech, "Tell General Howard, I know his heart. What he told me before, I have in my heart. I am tired of fighting. Our chiefs are killed. Looking Glass is dead. Tu-hul-hul-sot is dead. The old men are all dead. It is the young men who say yes or no. He who led on the young men is dead. It is cold and we have no blankets. The little children are freezing to death. My people, some of them, have run away to the hills and have no blankets, no food. No one knows where they are. Perhaps they are freezing to death. I want to have time to look for my children and see how many of them I can find. Maybe I shall find them among the dead. Hear me, my chiefs. I am tired, my heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever." These words, laden with sorrow yet dignity, underscored not just the end of a military campaign, but the profound human cost of cultural erasure and loss. They have since been etched into the collective memory as a symbol of the struggle faced by Native Americans. After surrender, Joseph and his people were not allowed to return to their sacred lands. Instead, they were initially sent to a reservation in Oklahoma, where many perished due to the harsh change in climate and living conditions. Joseph continued to advocate for his people, making speeches across the country, raising awareness about the plight of Native Americans. His later years were marked by a relentless pursuit of justice and recognition of his people's rights. He met with presidents, spoke at public events, and even toured with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show to bring attention to Native American issues. Despite his efforts, he was never allowed to return to the Wallowa Valley until his death in 1904, when his body was finally brought back to be buried there. Chief Joseph's legacy is one of profound resilience, leadership, and advocacy. His life story is not just about a man, but about a people's unwavering spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. His journey from the Wallowa Valley to the Bear's Paw Mountains, and his fight for peace and dignity, continues to inspire and remind us of the cost at which the fabric of America was woven. In the years following his surrender, Chief Joseph became an emblem of Native American resistance and rights. His eloquent speeches and persistent advocacy helped change perceptions about Native Americans in broader American society. Although he was never allowed to settle permanently back in the Wallowa Valley, his story brought significant attention to the injustices faced by indigenous peoples. Joseph's narrative is one of loss, but also of an indomitable spirit. He taught future generations about the importance of cultural identity and the strength found in unity and resilience. His legacy is carried on by those who continue to fight for native rights, land, and recognition. Even today, Chief Joseph's words echo in the halls of history, serving as both a lament and a call to action. His life's work remains a beacon for those advocating for justice, reminding us of the enduring fight for freedom and dignity. His spirit, much like the thunder he was named after, continues to roll down the mountains of time, urging us to remember, respect, and reconcile.